Hello everybody. Today we are going to look at predicting volcanic eruptions. So in your Edmodo, go to the post that says predicting volcanic eruptions. Here is the link for the reading. Here are the practice questions. And here is my email you can send your answers to. So let's take a look at predicting eruptions. So predicting eruptions is very similar to predicting earthquakes. It's not an exact science. You can not always make an accurate prediction, um, but there are some signs. So, volcanologists, those are the scientists that study volcanoes to try and predict when it is going to erupt. So, as we said, there are many changes that are going to happen, but eruptions are very difficult to predict. So if a region has a history of volcanic activities, um, then it's more likely to have an eruption. So scientists are going to study how long it has been since the last eruption. They're also going to want to know the time span between its previous eruptions, so they can kind of estimate when an eruption will happen. They're going to watch active and dormant volcanoes because if you remember, dormant volcanoes are the ones they erupted recently, but they're not currently erupting. So a few signs that we're going to have an eruption. Um, there's a higher frequency of earthquakes. So earthquakes might take place every day near a volcano. Before an eruption, the number and size of the earthquakes is going to increase. This is because the magma is pushing upward into the magma chamber. So that causes stresses on neighboring rock to build up, and it's going to cause the ground to shake. A continuous string of earthquakes may be an indicator that the volcano is going to erupt. Slope tilt is another sign. So the slope of the volcano can begin to swell. It may change the shape of the volcano or cause rock falls and landslides. But most of the time, they cannot see this actual ground tilting with their eyes. They detect it using tilt meters, which are instruments that are going to measure the angle of the slope of the volcano. Okay, so if they see a change in tilt based on the tilt meter, that could be a sign that there's going to be an eruption. They can measure the types of gases that escape the volcano. Gases like sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide and hydrochloric acid and water vapor can be measured at the site of the volcano. They can also measure gases from satellites, which is a lot safer. The amount of gases and ratios of gases are going to be calculated to help predict the eruption. So remote monitoring is going to be when they use satellites to monitor the gases, but also high temperature spots or areas where the volcano surface is changing. So this is a little more accurate because satellites can be very accurate, and it's also a lot more safe. So similar to earthquakes, volcanoes have their costs and benefits. If you wrongly predict it, there could be a lot of lost money and people won't trust those in charge. But if you rightly predict it, then you can save a lot of lives. So make sure you finish your questions and turn them into me.